The United States of America Bible prophecy. We must now show that the papacy is the most deadly enemy the United States will ever have to face. Using the utmost secrecy to conceal her plans, the papacy, through a facade of religion, has for many decades been infiltrating the United States in all levels of government. As a result, the United States will soon lose its constitution and become a tyrannical, persecuting power. Don't misunderstand here. We have seen that the Catholic Church is not a Christian religion. It is a strange combination of the old pagan religions with a Christian facade. Just because they claim to be a Christian church does not make it so. For many decades, the papacy has been laying plans for the takeover of the United States. This goal of the papacy is clearly stated in Charles Schiniger's book, 50 Years in the Church of Rome. We are determined, he says, to take possession of the United States and rule them. But we cannot do that without acting secretly and with utmost wisdom. If our plans become known, they will surely be defeated. Charles Schiniger, 50 Years in the Church of Rome. The Wycliffe Press, Protestant Truth Society, Wycliffe Avenue, 104, Hendon Lane, Finchley, London, N3 1885 P 373. How sad will their awakening be when, with our outnumbering votes, we will turn them forever from every position of honor, power, and profit? What will those hypocritical and godless sons and daughters of the fraternal pilgrim fathers say, when not a single judge, not a single teacher, not a single policeman will be elected, if he be not a devoted Roman Catholic? What will those so-called giants think of their matchless shrewdness and ability, when not a single senator or member of Congress will be chosen? If he be not submitted to our Holy Father the Pope, what a sad figure those Protestant Yankees will cut when we will not only elect the president, but field and command the armies, man the navies, and hold the keys of the public treasury. Then we will rule the United States and lay them at the feet of the Vicar of Jesus Christ, the Pope. And he may put an end to their godless system of education and sweep away those impious laws of liberty of conscience which are an insult to God and man. The American people must be very blind indeed if they do not see that if they do nothing to prevent it, the day is very near when the Jesuits will rule their country. From the magnificent White House at Washington to the humblest civil and military department of this vast republic, EBIT P 374. As we have seen, when they say Vicar of Jesus Christ, they mean the Pope. As you read this chapter, and keep in mind that they have said it is their goal to take over the United States and trash the Constitution. The American Constitution is thoroughly detested by the papacy because the freedom safeguards it contains make it impossible for the papacy through their Jesuits to take over the United States as long as the Constitution is in force. Here is a statement from the same book that shows the power these people have amassed in the United States. The Jesuits of the United States form one of the richest and most powerful corporations the world ever saw. EBIT P 375. The papacy is by far the wealthiest institution on earth. Jesus, the founder of Christianity, was the poorest of the poor. Roman Catholicism, which claims to be his church, is the richest of the rich. Avro Manhattan, the Vatican billions. Chic Publications, P 17. The Catholic Church is the biggest financial power, wealth accumulator, and property owner in existence. She is a greater possessor of material riches than any other single institution, corporation, bank, giant trust, government, or state of the whole globe. Jack Chick, Smoke Screens, Chick Publications, Chapter 10. Very few people know anything about the Jesuits because of their extreme secrecy. Here is a description of them from the book, The Great Controversy, that shows the abominable character and deceptiveness of the Pope's Jesuits. The Bible predicts what is going to happen to the United States. There are two beast powers described in the 13th chapter of Revelation. The first has been shown to the papacy, the Roman Catholic Church. The description of the second beast begins with Revelation chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. The sea in Bible prophecy, you will remember, represents multitudes of people. The ascent of the first beast, the papacy from the sea, indicates that this power arose from the populated areas of Europe. The earth indicates that the ascent of the second beast of Revelation 13 from earth indicates that this power had its beginning in a sparsely populated area of the globe. The previous verse, verse 10, gives us an indication of the time when this second beast was arising, for it refers to the deadly wound of verse 3 that the papacy received in the year 1798. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Verse 11 then describes the ascent of this second beast at that time. what nation was coming to power in the world around 1798. In a sparsely populated area of the world, when the papacy received its deadly wound, the only nation coming to power at that time was the United States of America. The North American continent was then a very sparsely populated area of the globe. Consider the beast that is used to represent the United States. It has two horns like a lamb. What beast other than a lamb has two small lambs? What beast other than a lamb has two small lambs like horns? The obvious answer is the bison or buffalo. As it is more commonly referred to, the buffalo, whose habitat is the North American continent, appeared for many years as a symbol on United States nickels. The two lamb-like horns of this beast symbolize the kind, gracious, and gentle nature of this country when it was young. That the horns had no crowns symbolized the great religious and political liberty available to all under the United States Constitution. The horns without crowns represent a nation without a king and a church without a pope. The powerful buffalo symbolizes the superior strength of the United States. On American money, the message of hard trust in God was proclaimed, and the great blessing of God rested upon this country. Alexis de Tocqueville, a young French philosopher of the last century, came to our shores to discover what magical quality enabled a handful of people to defeat the mighty British Empire thrice in 35 years. He looked for the greatness of America in our fertile soil, her limitless forests and natural resources. He examined America's schools, our Congress, and our unique Constitution without fully understanding the source of America's strength. It was not, he said later, until he went to the churches of America and found congregations aflame with righteousness, that he began to comprehend the secret of this power. Upon his return to France, de Tocqueville wrote, "America is great because America is good. And if America ever ceases to be good, America will cease to be great." There's Griffin, Descent into Slavery, Emissary Publications, P.O. Box 642, South Pasadena, CA 91030, 1980, page 267. The United States was the champion of liberty and freedom throughout the world. Before this time, no nation in history ever had a written constitution that guaranteed the liberty and freedom of its people. But the glorious beginning of this country was to be corrupted in later years. The gentle, gracious, freedom-loving character of the United States in its youth was later used as a facade to hide the character that this country subsequently developed. This facade has successfully kept hidden, even from most of its own citizens, the real character the United States developed in these last days as a result of Jesuit infiltration and subversion. Revelation chapter 13, verse 11 tells us that this country will speak as a dragon. We saw that the dragon is Satan. How does the dragon speak? John chapter 8, verse 44. Tell us, "You are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, He speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. The devil is a liar. There is no truth in him. This great country that began so beautifully by upholding the principles of morality and freedom speaks, as Revelation chapter 13 verse 11 says, as a dragon. In these last days, the United States lies to the entire world, just as the dragon, the devil, does. The United States in these later days deceives with a skill nearly equal to that of the devil himself, just as the Bible predicted. For the devil is using this country to play a major part in the disastrous events soon to take place. Most of its citizens readily believe the lies of the second beast, the United States. Why does a country lie? Why does a person lie? Why does Satan lie? Lies are obviously used to deceive and to keep the truth from being known. Countries and people lie because a knowledge of their activities will hurt or embarrass them, or will prevent them from carrying out their sinister purposes. The fact that the United States speaks as the dragon shows that its government is engaged in criminal activities, and its citizens and the rest of the world must not find out about. These religious laws that the United States is going to pass in the near future will cause the events of Revelation chapter 13 verse 12 to occur. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Here we see that the United States will soon exercise all the power of the first beast, the papacy, and cause the people of the earth to worship the papacy. What could the United States do that will force people to worship the papacy? In direct defiance of the Constitution, the United States will pass laws demanding obedience to papal religious requirements. We have seen that Sunday observance was instituted by the papacy, and that those who observe Sunday according to papal dictates instead of God's Sabbath, Saturday, are worshipping the papacy. The United States, therefore, will pass laws requiring our citizens to observe Sunday as the day to be kept holy. Remember that the Pope's Jesuits have been infiltrating the U.S. government and other organizations for many decades. That such a law will be passed in America may seem very unlikely at this time. Nevertheless, this is Bible prophecy, and it will indeed be fulfilled exactly as verse 12 indicates. Actually, such laws are not as far-fetched as they might seem. Many states now have Sunday laws on the books. These laws, usually referred to as blue laws, demand the closure of certain business on Sunday. Today, the papacy and her many daughter religions, including non-Christian religions and the New Age movement, are working to consolidate the churches of the world into a single worldwide religion. Because of all the crime and violence in society and the world, and because of the increasingly heavy hand of government regulation and taxes, the people will come to realize that they need the restraints of religion in order to preserve freedom and order. And they will combine the false religions of the world into a vast one world ecu, ecu, ecumenical religion that the Bible refers to as the false prophet. Revelation 16 verse 13 and 14 mention this false prophet. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, Satan, and out of the mouth of the beast, the Catholic Church, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, ecumenical Protestantism. For they are the spirits of devils working miracles that go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. The Sunday law will be one of the results of this false ecumenical religion. The people will mistakenly pressure government to go against the First Amendment to the Constitution and legislate religious doctrine, in this case, false religious doctrine. The last issue of contention in this world will be over religion, specifically over which is the proper day on which to worship. Saturday, God's only Sabbath day, or Sunday. The day is set up by the papacy, and we will soon witness religious persecution worse than the world has ever seen. Because of its position of leadership the United States enjoys in the world, and because of Jesuit influence, the rest of the world will follow its example and will also pass religious laws requiring Sunday observance. The papacy and her Jesuits will be the driving force behind this great Sunday movement. Sunday and the papacy know that the scheme to establish a political new world order through the United Nations to take over the world will not work. Through use of trouble caused by trying to institute the new world order, trouble caused by atheism, liberalism, socialism, radicalism, and terrorism, they are conditioning the world for these worldwide religious laws, especially the Sunday laws. Continue with the prophecy. Revelation chapter 13 verse 13 shows that the United States will dazzle the world with its great feast, with its great feats. And it doeth great wonders, so that it maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man. As the United States ever made fire come down from heaven in the sight of the whole world. During the Second World War, this country dropped atomic bombs on two cities in Japan, and fire indeed came down from heaven. The reference to great wonders refers to the exalted level of technological excellence this country enjoys and the scientific marvels this country has accomplished. Further describing the United States, Revelation chapter 13 verse 14 says, "And deceives them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles that he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast that had the wound by a sword, and did live." An image is a copy, a duplication. The first beast, the papacy, is a union of church and state. The armies and police power of the state carry out the demands and dictates of the church as in the Dark Ages. This union of church and state will be duplicated by the United States. Catholics and other religious denominations in the United States will join together in a great ecumenical alliance and will pass religious laws, including the National Sunday Law. When this happens, the United States will repudiate its glorious beginning of total civil and religious freedom and will become a union of church and state in a vain attempt to dictate morality to its citizens. The United States will use its police power to enforce obedience to the doctrines and dictates of this great ecumenical alliance, thus becoming the image of the beast. We see this beginning to happen today as the so-called religious right becomes more powerful. Before the end comes, this country will repudiate every principle of its constitution. The injunction of the First Amendment to the Constitution prohibiting the government from making any religious laws will not prevent this prophecy from being realized. And the fires of religious persecution will again be kindled. Those who insist on keeping God's Sabbath day, Saturday holy according to the fourth commandment will suffer severe persecution, as the following verse shows. Revelation chapter 13 verse 15 says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." Thus, we see that in America, the true Christians who continue to keep Saturday, God's Sabbath day, holy, will be in danger of losing their lives. As impossible as this sounds to us today, remember that the unconditional prophecy of this Bible never fails. Many of us will live to witness this persecution that will eventually become so severe that it will be a matter of life or death. And many people will be killed. The time will come that whoever kills you will think that he does God's service. John chapter 16 verse 2. Now, otherwise, thank you so much. Today I wanted to be brief and pick about Bible prophecy. The rest I will document it in writing. I write a letter and post it. So this one I just picked from the middle, from the beginning. Just a kind of summary to understand the United States Bible prophecy in Revelation. Thank you so much. May God bless you.